Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. You have just bought, or you're thinking of buying yourself your first XLR microphone like I am, and you are curious as to whether you get a cheap mixer box or you go for something slightly higher quality with a Gauto's name on it as well. So what I want to run through is which one do we pick up. I picked this one up first. Spoiler alert, didn't particularly get on that well with it, and I've picked up this one, so we're going to do some testing. I'll show you what both can do, and then we are going to get into it. Typically I don't produce loads of videos on this channel, just a few collection and a few techie based videos like this, excuse those cables. But I do have a separate channel called Halo_Forever, where I make a lot of Halo content, particularly Halo Infinite, but also MCC, and occasionally other stuff, as you can see my little collection here. So if you are interested, go over to that channel if you're into Halo. I know it's not the most popular thing in the world anymore, sadly. Anyway, this is obviously just audio from my cheap camera phone. Let's switch over. We will talk through the Fifine or the Fifine, and then we will talk through the Elgato Wave XLR, all running through this Elgato Wave DX. Hopefully this will be beneficial to somebody out there. I actually forgot to show you the coolest thing that this box does, which is when it gets powered on, if I can power it on with one hand, boosh. That is legitimately the coolest thing this box does. Anyway, let's go over to the actual core video. This is the Fifine setup. Now, you'll have to apologize, or I will have to apologize for my camera. It is not the best when looking at those very bright lights. So, as you can see, we do have obviously the RGB colors there lighting up, and you can see we are recording. This audio you are hearing is coming through the box. The microphone levels there. What I will do is move the camera angle to have a better camera, but this is essentially how I have it set up right here, and I'm sat kind of right here, excuse the mess. I'm not going to go through a setup tutorial. You have your microphone plug in there, USB, which plugs into your computer there, and that's literally as easy as it is. You can have a microphone plugged in, or sorry, you can have headphones plugged in to be able to hear, but I have my headphones set up separately at the moment just for the purposes of this demo. Don't really need them. Span this around now. Hopefully that is a reasonable enough representation of what we have here, and I will just run through it. Basically this is a live test for you to hear the quality of the recording, and you can probably pick up that occasionally there is this electronic kind of muffling. I'm sure it's got a proper term. I don't know if it's clipping or whatever, but there it's kind of getting jumbled just very slightly, and occasionally it kind of fizzes in between words. If I don't say anything, then it just never happens. So there is something wrong with this particular unit that you probably won't find, because in all the reviews I've not heard anybody else complain about that. So we will turn these lights off, because then you'll get a slightly better picture, especially if I put my bright lights on as well. So you've got your 48V button here. Just don't need to use it with this particular microphone. Some juicy microphones need it, but typically you probably won't. We have an auto tune button here, so you can cycle through a bunch of different auto tunes. 99% of people are not going to use that. It's not particularly the best, but if you want something cheap just to mess about with in some lobbies when you're making videos or having a community chat, there is that option. Same with the voice changer over here. You can go through different voices. So that one is the male voice, so probably making my voice a bit deeper.
You've got the female voice there.
You've got a robot voice here, but again, I don't think these are particularly good. This one's supposed to be Monster.
This one's supposed to be a baby's voice, a bit funnier.
And then Elder again, which is like a strung out male version. Not particularly good. Turn it off.
You hold it and then it's gone. These custom buttons, so you hold it for 2 seconds, I think, and then I think now it's recording, and you get to about 15 seconds worth of recording, so make sure you hit that subscribe and then let go, and I guess that saved it in there. So if I hit that, hopefully that's replayed the few seconds I was talking about there. So the good thing on this is you have your slider here, which controls your volume of or level of gain for your microphone that you're using. So it should be going quiet and then louder and louder. I usually have it here on about 70, 65, 75%. That typically works quite well, but that is your demo of this box. I haven't obviously talked about these 3 buttons because I literally don't think many people particularly are going to need them. One, as I said, it's line in here, so taking a feed in here, perhaps you have your mobile phone plugged in or something. Then you have your headphones, so as I said, actually you can see the lights, so yeah, there you go, you can see the lights, that's headphones. This is line in if you had something plugged in that you want to interlace into your recordings. Maybe you have a phone with some custom sounds on it that you want to use, and then this one here will be your line out, so you can plug speakers in or whatever you want. But again, I don't think many people really need to use those, especially, well, the headphones maybe, but a lot of people use wireless headphones as well. So not, you know, it's fairly basic, it's fairly straightforward. Obviously you can mute the buttons here down the bottom as well, so if I hit this button here, it should light up and then I was muted. So there you go. Okay, so here we have the Wave XLR. Very much smaller product and much more simple and straightforward, in all honesty. Plugins at the back, obviously you can see those. How many times can I say obviously? You also have a headphone port there, and your mute button, just by tapping that there, as you see, the dial went red. And down here you can see you have microphone recording. If you click this button, it will change to your headphone output, and then you can change the gain on that. And then you have a linking button there as well. And down here you have your 48 volts as well. If you hold the button down, you'll turn that on and off. So it's much more straightforward to use, and this is obviously the audio quality that you're going to get without any enhancements. There is no funny voice changing settings on the box. It is very vanilla. It is very plain. I like it because it's quite small, compact. It can just squeeze in on my desk, which is filled with a bunch of Halo stuff. So I quite like the look of it. I would have loved it if it had a second input so I can use my electronic guitar in it. Other people might want to have 2 mics going into it for podcasting, etc. But it is designed just for streaming, and typically you stream just with one person. So hopefully that's been a good demo back and forth. We will now go in and look at the other things you get with this Wave XLR. Very, very briefly though. So if you want a very in-depth look at the Wave software, that won't be in this video, it'll be in another one. But let's have a quick scan. Right, so this is the test. We have the Wavelink media here. As you can see, you can select your own gain here, which works very much exactly how it does on the physical item. If I scroll on the item, it changes this here live, real time. You have a bunch of other things you can change here on your headphone jack if you wish. You have your clip guard settings in here, wave gain lock, all these good things. You can actually even change the color of the lights on the physical device. Turn on the power, the phantom power here as well, and yeah, it's just your one-stop shop. But again, it looks very basic here, but of course it's not basic, because what you have here, if you click this little button here, you have a whole marketplace of amazing things to go and look at and download and install. There's too many here to go through individually, one by one, and that's not really what this video is for. The main one I'll show you here is this equalizer, and then a little fun one after that as well. So all you do is you download it very quickly on the website, hit that add effect, and it will be right here. Hit that, and you can change this now however you wish. I don't know what that's doing to my voice because I don't have my monitor plugged in, but that will, and it's actually quite easy to read, this whole interface here. So quite good, and you can do that kind of real time as well. So I'm not sure if this is helping at all, and it might actually sound a bit weird, but one other thing you can do is download this one, which is pre-made specifically for the Wave mic. And this is what it sounds like. It says you probably won't want to do any tweaking. Obviously here you're hopefully hearing a difference in my voice, and I appreciate in that last clip it was probably going all over the place and not particularly nice to listen to. But that's just a cool thing you do. You don't even need to play around with it that much, and obviously you don't get this on your other box. And very simply, if you don't want it, you just go into here and just remove it, basically. Click that delete and it will be gone. It's not gone entirely, it's just gone from there. You can just click on it again and away you go. But the one other thing I wanted to show you is just a bit of a fun one. And here we have got the all-out presets, really. And they're not even presets, you can completely customize them. Not particularly, I mean, it is quite easy to work out what it is after you've had a bit of play. It's not the easiest thing to work out. Here we've got a few different ones. So you've got the Vault-Tec announcement or announcer, a radiation storm, which I don't really like that one so much. Brotherhood still, which is pretty good. It really does sound like you're getting a radio signal from the Brotherhood of Steel. There's quite a few in here actually. Caps Trader, haggling, that one's pretty cool. Blues Bunker, this one's quite nice. It's just a bit of fun, obviously. Now, if you have a Steam Deck as well, you can assign these different presets to your Steam Deck, and it will be very easy to just get a button and your voice to change into that, which is pretty cool. And of course, you can change different things. So here's the static, and obviously cranking that way too high, but you know, whatever you want. Signal drift is this one, so it will change your audio as you desire. So I think they're pretty cool. You hit that button and just go straight back to reset. And again, you take it off, you just delete it. It will say, "Do you sure you want to delete it," and of course it will still be here in your custom settings. You just hit that again. We'll be back into this one. This is another one I downloaded earlier, like I showed you, and away you go. Job is a good one. And obviously this all integrates into OBS if you want. I'm actually using the NVIDIA Gamecast stream downloader thing. I forget what it's called, but I'm using the NVIDIA screen sharing, saving, recording version. And yeah, it's entirely up to you what you go for. You get a lot more bang for your buck with the Elgato one. Specifically if you're just into streaming and talking. If you want the cheaper version, you can get the cheaper version, the Fifine or Fifine, but it does have its limitations and it's not as robust. It doesn't feel like a full product. Well, it feels like a full product, but it doesn't feel robust in terms of the physical quality. And you don't get any of this editing software in the background. It is very much plug and play. And I would suggest if you're getting an XLR mic, you don't necessarily want just plug and play. You want a lot of, not even a lot, just a bit of customization, because otherwise you might as well just get a USB mic, in all honesty, if you just want plug and play. Anyway, hopefully this video has been useful for you guys, and I will catch you in my next video here or over on Halo Forever.